Have you ever worked for or with that manager who leads by fear? You know, the kind that thinks motivation is all about yelling louder or checking the metrics and looking at numbers even harder and reminding their employees how replaceable they are. Yeah, that kind of manager. And then they wonder why everyone on the team is burned out, disengaged, or they're secretly job hunting on company time. Here's a hard truth. People don't stop caring because they're lazy. They stop caring because management made it unsafe for them to care. Fear doesn't build loyalty. It builds compliance, and compliance does not build a great team. You can spot fear-based management a mile away. The vibe is tense. People are quiet in meetings because one wrong word can paint a target on their back. New hires show up bright-eyed and eager, and within weeks they're questioning the very move, terrified that they'll make a mistake. When managers lead through intimidation, the best people leave first and the rest stay quiet. Productivity might look fine on a spreadsheet for a while, but behind the scene, morale is tanking, collaboration's gone, and turnover's about to explode. It's not just about numbers, it's an emotional exhaustion. When your team is consistently worried about being chewed out instead of being lifted up, they shut down creatively, initiative, and ownership. You can't coach people who are in survival mode. I saw this play out once. There was a manager that I worked with, and not for, thankfully, who took over a team that used to be solid. Within about 4 months, he'd lost literally 15 people. 15. It was like watching a slow motion train wreck about to happen. New hires would join his team, and within a month, they were already quitting. He'd tell people, you're not hitting your KPIs, you're not doing enough, you're not good enough. But he never once stopped to ask, where are you struggling, or what can I do to help you get to where you need to be? He demanded results without offering support. And for his remote people, it was even worse. They were literally out on an island, no one to turn to, no peer to lean on, no visibility. By the time a few of them came to me to ask for help, it was too late. They were already drowning. Confidence was gone. Engagement was gone. And the fallout didn't stop there. Even the veterans, people who had been there for years, finally said enough and walked out the door. He built a culture of fear so strong it pushed good people away. And here's where I realized something very crucial. You can't fix that kind of culture by slapping a morale initiative on top of it. You've got to get back to the foundation. That's why onboarding matters so much. Because when you onboard the right way, you set expectations, you build trust, and you make it clear that leadership is there to develop people, not to dominate them. I'll tell you about a resource that helps you directly at the end of this video, so stick around. So why does this keep happening? Why do so many managers default to fear and control instead of trust and coaching? It's simple. They were never taught how to lead. They were promoted because they hit their numbers, not because they knew how to build a team. And when pressure hits, they fall back on what they know, which is control, micromanagement, and metrics. But here's what they miss. Fear doesn't create performance, it creates paralysis. You might hit some short-term results, but long-term, you're burning your own team down to the ground. And underneath it, the real issue is broken onboarding. No one ever onboarded them into what leadership actually means at their company. No one ever told them, hey, leadership isn't about demanding more, it's about equipping people better. If we want employees who care, we've got to create leaders who care first. And that starts with teaching managers how to build connection from day one with their team. So, how is it that we get employees to actually care about their job, especially if they've been beaten down by bad management? Number one, start with psychological safety. People don't speak up if they're afraid that they're going to get punished for doing so. Leaders need to set the tone. Is it safe to ask questions? Is it safe to make mistakes? Will we learn here? When people feel safe, they invest emotionally into their job and into your company. The second thing then is lead with curiosity, not criticism. Instead of why didn't you hit your numbers, ask what is getting in your way to doing better. That one shift turns a threat into a coaching moment, and that changes everything. The whole dynamics about how your management engages your employees. Three, coach the individual, not the metric. Every KPI has a human story behind it. Find out what your people need, training, tools, confidence, and then remove the roadblocks. You can't drive results by ignoring the driver. Step four then is create a connection point for remote staff. If your people work from home, they can't learn by osmosis. In other words, they're not sitting beside somebody else where they can absorb the knowledge of the veteran people. Schedule intentional touch points, peer calls, mentor check-ins, anything that makes them feel seen. Isolation kills engagement faster than any bad policy ever could. The fifth thing then is recognize growth, not just outcomes. Celebrate effort, improvement, and learning. When people feel progress is noticed, they start to own it. You do these five things and you watch your culture shift from fear-based to ownership-driven, because people don't care about a job, they care about how that job makes them feel. And all of this, everything that I just laid out, this starts with how you onboard your people. The first impression sets the tone of how people expect to be led. If onboarding is cold, chaotic, or fear-based, you already are losing the people. But if it's intentional, structured, and human, you've already won half of the battle. That's exactly why I built Onboarding Essentials. It's a 4 PDF program that's designed to help trainers, leaders, and HR teams build onboarding that actually creates caring employees. It gives you the framework, templates, and guidance to turn your onboarding into a system that drives clarity so people know exactly what success looks like. It drives accountability built through ownership and not fear. It builds engagement because new hires feel supported, not abandoned. It also builds retention. Stop losing great people who never get the foundation they need. Finally, it builds compensation alignment so effort and reward finally make sense. If you want to stop managing through fear and start leading through empowerment, click the link below and get Onboarding Essentials today, because caring doesn't start with employees. It starts with how you welcome them. And if you're tired of playing defense with your team's motivation, in my next video, this simple trick skyrockets employees' productivity overnight. I'm sharing one ridiculously easy leadership shift that boost performance without pushing people harder. You'll be shocked with how simple it is. Now I want to hear from you. What is the worst management experience that you've ever dealt with in your career? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you know anyone that can use this help, please share the videos with them.